Hey, YouTubers, y'all remember those who've been following me? Remember, I was getting critiqued or criticized or basically attacked because I, said I was in the military and whatnot. And at first, it was white people openly attacking me. Then a while, I got some black men and black women criticized me, and I ignored them. But I noticed some people kept critiquing and criticizing more than ever. And I noticed when people were doing that, they were saying certain words and certain phrases. And after a while, I noticed, I said, you know what? I don't think it's just white people. I think there's some black people. But then I realized it was a different tone for those who were actually black versus those who were white. And like I said before, white people, they have a way of saying and doing things. They don't know how to let up. They just keep going and going and going to try to elicit a response from you. And I think some of those white YouTubers who had issue with me going in the military, whether they're liberal or Republican, they saw comments from other black YouTubers asking me questions, saying they wanted to go in the military. And I would tell those brothers and sisters send me PMs, and I would talk to them, and I wish them all the best if they went in, like some said they're going in. And now there are going to be some black people who still think that blacks should go in the military. I get it, I understand it, but I'm going to let those brothers and sisters know. Anywhere you go in this country and get a job, unless it's a specifically stated black business, you can only interact with white people. And then whether you're in the military or you're a receptionist or you're a doctor or lawyer, you're still going to get treated a certain way. That doesn't mean you just don't stop doing it. You do what you have to do. Because a lot of our young brothers and sisters would risk standing on the corner getting shot at, but they won't go into the military risk getting shot at, but you get paid, you get a roof over your head, you get a shower, warm meal, and benefits and points. And this is where I think a lot of the hatred and stuff came from. And I think a large majority of these people are white because of the benefits. Because you have to understand this economy, so-called economy, has not truly affected black people. I mean, don't get me wrong. We get screwed. When the country catch a cold, we get pneumonia. But white folks are starting to catch hell. And the military was looked down for a very long time. Even when 9/11 happened, they kept talking about this big boost. It wasn't a big boost. When I went to base training, most of those white guys that said they went in cause of family tradition, 9/11, they did everything to flunk out of basic training. Or when they got to their duty station, they went AWOL. Or when they went to Iraq and went on R&R, they went AWOL. Okay, and usually when you go AWOL, you're supposed to get dishonorable discharge. But guess what? White lieutenants, white sergeants looked out for him. I know one guy that was in my platoon went AWOL, and he's supposed to get a dishonorable discharge. But one white NCO I had looked out for him, and the officer, and the first sergeant. And from what I understand, he's with the police department. And I think he lives in Ohio. And if he come across this video, he know who I'm talking about. He know who he is. And I noticed something. Before I left, they was making white guys make sure they left the Army as sergeants when they supposed to be in private first class or just specialists or corporals. But those black soldiers like myself who did all kinds of things, they made sure we stayed at a particular rank or we didn't go any further. They used all different kinds of excuses. And that's something that I'm working on, other veterans are working on. But it goes back to the job thing. You don't listen to the military. But let me say this. My father told me before I went in the military, and anybody know me, I didn't want to do it, but I lost my job. And I got to thinking about not being able to eat and be able to have a roof over my head. Went in, and he told me, he said, son, he said, if you can survive basic training and you can go to war and survive war, everything in life is pretty much easy. And he's right. Don't get me wrong, I got my bad days, but I can deal with stuff a lot better because I've seen the worst in human beings. I've seen human beings kill other human beings. I've been nearly in the position of being murdered myself. So believe me, I put my body to all kinds of things I never thought I could put my body through. And when you come out on top, the guy next to you, he fears that this nigga standing next to me, male or female, he like, this nigga standing next to me. They're afraid that you're going to outdo them. And then people don't understand. Once you go in the military, after so many days, you consider a veteran, and you have points. You get points. So even if you do your military contract, say for instance your contract is 3 years, 3 or 3.5 years, or 4 years, and technically you have to do 8 years. So you have 4 years active, or then you have 4 years inactive, total 8 years. After those 8 years, you do your 4 years, you go back to your home state, you sign up for the National Guard Reserve. Now, me personally, I think if you go in, stay in, if you've been active duty, stay active duty, okay? Unless something happened to you back at home, you have to go back home for whatever reason, okay? But anyways, you have a point system, and that means you can go in for government jobs, post office, VA, whatever. And then they look at a veteran first on civilian jobs. And the idea that black men and black women are able to go take advantage of those type of things, they don't like that. So what they do is they do everything in their power to discourage you and criticize you. And that's what this person was doing. I recognize this person. They kept doing the same thing. But see, that shouldn't discourage a brother and sister. Like I said, is there racism? Is there a double standard in this country when it comes down to black serving in the military? Yeah, I understand it. But understand this, you benefit, you take advantage of how things to better yourself. Now, everybody's not cut out for the military, and I'm not telling everybody to go in. But if you're going to risk standing out in the corner, risk getting shot, if you're just going to hang around laying in your parents' house all day, or go out there trying to go stand in line to get welfare benefits, and you knowing damn well they're not going to give it to you unless you keep popping out kids, because they don't like giving black men those benefits. So what are you going to do? I would suggest going to the military, whether it be Army, Marines, Air Force, Navy, whatever. You do that, and it's not a long period of time. But when you see white people out here coming, they're doing it for alternative reason, ulterior motive, excuse me. They don't want you in there because they don't want you probably taking a position or filling up a job that they could have got, or they don't want you coming out taking advantage of certain things. It's a method to their madness. And those who are black may not understand. They might be watching some old clip of Malcolm X or Dr. King, or they figure, well, you know what, why would I go fight a war when I come back and get crapped on, which I understand. But you got to use what they put out there to your advantage. Learn their history. Learn how to throw it back in their face. That's why when I do certain things, white folks get mad because they like, this nigga's using what we put out there. This is why they so mad at President Obama, because he did everything he did everything they wanted us to do, and then when you do it and you do it better, then they get scared. So this person right here that sent me that message, and you've been sending messages for a long time, nice try. Nice try. Because I want to read this to you again. You ain't doing shit, nigga. Just sit back and take bullets like a good little coon. LOL. I bet you was a white man's bitch in the military. I can tell too. What they got to do with me, John Henry Spoon, and kill Darius Simmons? They obsessed with us. Like I'm telling you, when here in the Chicago area, was actually in the city limits, former Mayor Daley changed the police standards. How you become a police officer. One time, you go in, you take the physical test, you could do the condition, take the written test, and you pass, and you was a police officer. Now you have 2 years of junior college to carry a fucking gun that starts at about $29,000. That's to keep you from being able to go back in your community and show little boys and little girls that, hey, this is our community. We're going to take it back from these gang bangers, these drug dealers, or these men and women who do not live in our community, but bring that poison in our community. Notice in black schools, they don't demand, and I mean they don't demand y'all go to school to become teachers, lawyers, doctors, scientists. They push sports. They want you to be a fucking entertainer. They don't want you to be able to do anything to benefit your community. So when people leave messages like this about, I bet you the white man bitch in the military, I can tell you they figure by calling us black men bitches, that's going to set us off. Not this brother. They don't want us in the military or law enforcement medical field because it would benefit our people. They want us to always be standing behind bars or with handcuffs on or begging them for help. That's why they do the shit they do and do the things they say. This is why they're so obsessed with coming to black YouTube channels or coming to our community. They want to know what we're saying and doing. Because they don't want you to be better than them. And I'm not saying all white people think like that, but it's a large strength arrogance within their community. But this person right here, they've been sending me hate messages for a long time. It just down this, I guess they found this channel. They said we're gonna do it again. So I'm gonna go back and show you this person's channel so you know exactly what I'm talking about. 0 subscribers, 0 view. Date joined May 9th, 2012. Latest activity June 8th, 2012. and they went to the channels that I subscribe to. So, like I said at the beginning, it could be very well be a black person, but this is a white person doing this, and they think they slick. So, like I said, this stuff that don't hurt me. I'm just gonna block you, but you proving my point. You're proving my point for me. You proving what I've said countless times, that they're jealous of us, and they're afraid that we're gonna do better than them.